Hello to you and welcome to Adelante Chicago. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bienvenidos. Let's begin with a summer tradition that's hit some roadblocks, you could say, in the last few years. The Puerto Rican festivities will have some new leadership this time around. And so two people are joining us to explain. Carlos Jimenez, he's the executive director of the festival, and Charlie Serrano, member of the oversight board. They're joining us now to explain what's been going on. Let's sort of back up a little bit on what's been happening the last few years that got us to this point. So give us kind of the brief overview of why we're here today.
Yeah, the Puerto Rican Festival and the Puerto Rican Parade has been around since I came out on the first Puerto Rican Parade.
It's something that you
back
look
in
forward to every year, yeah.
66. And this parade has a lot of meaning for a lot of historical, socio-political issues. The Puerto Rican flag, at one time it was prohibited for Puerto Ricans to fly their own flag in Puerto Rico and even in New York. So a festival came out in New York and then later in Chicago in 1966. This festival was organized for many, many years from grassroots organizations, clubs from different towns in Puerto Rico. They contributed to this, and then there was a festival. They would elect a president that would go on. This got completely out of hand in the last 6 years.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks, people, a lot of money involved. A festival with over 100,000 people. You know, over $1 million changing hands. You had groups, you had this, up to the point that I was involved personally in the purchasing of a building. The building then they took loans on the building. They went into bankruptcy, did not let anybody know in the community, and voila, we're in bankruptcy, losing an institution in the Puerto Rican community at a time that is very critical for the community because, again, the Puerto Rican community is being gentrified like it was on Halsted and Madison and Lincoln Park, and now in Humboldt Park, homes of $900,000, when 6 years ago people were still buying homes for $160,000, $200,000.
Right.
So this became a very important issue to the Puerto Rican agenda. We interfered, were able to save the building, and we'll talk about the building on another occasion. We stopped the parade from operating. We don't want to do a parade in downtown.
Until you could get things kind of figured out.
And not only that, there is a parade on Division Street. There was a parade, and parades, it doesn't make money. It's a lot of headache, and you cannot do these parades anymore in downtown. You have people actually live there. They do business there, you know, so that became a decision that our organization was not wanting to do. But the festival was critical. So we had an election. The alderman is critical because the alderman decides who can do the festival or how that functions. For the permits, our alderman won, and at the last minute, sometime in April, we decided, we got together and we said, hey, we went to the Puerto Rican agenda and we said, if some of us put this together, can we do the parade? The festival, we went to the alderman and he said yes, and the former organization of the Puerto Rican Parade and the festival are right now under investigation with the Attorney General. We spoke at the Attorney General's office and they decided that under supervision, and we put together an oversight board to oversee the finances, and thus we selected Carlos Jimenez Flores for him to put together a team of young people, fresh folks with great intentions to keep alive,
ideas.
You know, to keep this alive.
So here we are today. We're going to see some changes, some differences, some new leadership, right? So just to bring you into the conversation, Carlos, what can people expect if they are headed out to be a part of the Puerto Rican festivities this year, come June?
Okay, so what the festival used to be is you walk in and you have the carnival, food, the merchants, and music. That's it. So I'm a filmmaker, and I thought, well, you know how they have movies in the park? Well, why not have a section in the park where we can showcase Puerto Rican films, which they really don't get too much play in Chicago anyway. So our festival can be that for Puerto Rican filmmakers from the island. So we're gonna have films. We also wanna have like an author showcase and get Puerto Rican authors to come, and they'll be there with their books and they'll read excerpts from their books. We have a little riser, a little stage for them. Then we have a college fair. So for the first time, we have a college fair. There are several universities already, you know, in as sponsors. Scholastica just came in today, this morning, Scholastica is bringing a bunch of their books, and we'll be able to have their books present. And we have a health fair, so we want to also have a blood drive. We have voter registration. We have a kids area that Segundo Ruiz Belvis will monitor, and there's going to be arts and crafts and all kind of activities for children, because we understand that some families may not have the monies to spend in the carnival. They could still come to the festival, and here the children can have fun in this area. As a community, we don't get to celebrate. We love Three Kings, right? Las fiestas navideñas.
El Día de los Reyes,
El Día de los Reyes. We don't get to celebrate that in Chicago because it's just too cold, and we don't get to do parrandas the way we do on the island. Well, you know how there's Christmas in July for the Americans? Well, we're going to do fiestas navideñas en junio. So we have a whole area allocated to Three Kings. We're going to have actual guys dressed up as Three Kings and stuff like that. So we have that area next to the children's area. We also have an information center.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we have an information center where parents can come with their children, and we're going to give the children wristbands, and the parents could put the information there in case a child gets lost.
So much bigger and better than it's ever been.
Ever.
And it really shows you the investment that people are willing to make in the Puerto Rican community, despite all the problems that they've had in the past.
Yeah, we have to return it to a fiesta patronales. In Puerto Rico, we have 78 cities, and these 78 cities every year pick, depending on their saint of that town, San Sebastián, San Germán, those kind of cities, and they pick a particular time, and they have a fiesta patronales of their patron saint that includes the culture, the society within that city, and things like that. And I think this is where Carlos wanted to bring back this festival into have meaning, into explaining about the culture, because we're in a community where there's not only just Puerto Ricans. On the contrary, we have a variety of folks, and we want to make it fun and interesting for everyone. But and of course, there'll be all the fun food and fun rides and the carnival and the music and the local talent that he has focused on bringing local talent.
And there is so much Puerto Rican talent out there that we know of. So it's going to be exciting. Let's get the information up on the screen on when the festivities are going to take place. Again, it's coming up in June. I believe it starts June 13th, right? So it's a whole weekend event, just like you've seen in the past, where it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Yep. There is a charge this year. Yes.
So the first night, the 13th, which is a Thursday, that day will be free. That's a community day. Everybody can come and check it out. So because everybody's like, hey, how come you're checking? So come Thursday, check it out Thursday, and then there will be a charge of $5 the other days.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Gentlemen, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
And congratulations on making this change.
Thank you, and hope you can join us.
Thank you
on
so
the
much.
weekend.
Thank you so much.